All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. So much talent, live broadcast. I'll give it just a little bit of time for you all to come in. And if you would, the lighting is terrible. Look a little orange. All right, let's see. No filters. I'm learning this thing all over again. That's the kind of the whole purpose of me being here tonight. Um, let's see. Ooh, that won't work. All right, let's see here. All right, we're gonna roll with that, okay? All right, hello to the one person that's in. And if you would, as you're coming in, just introduce yourself. Let me know where you are watching from. All right, and I'm gonna see if I can find you all. So, um, so I want to be able to see your comments. Put this on mute. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, got it. All right, y'all. I'm just kind of playing around. This is one of the reasons why I'm coming in live tonight. Um, Kind of reintroduce myself to the Facebook realm. Um, there we go. All right, there's so many pop-ups that are coming in. All right, so I see three of you are watching. Um, oh goodness, I don't want to hide all chat messages. Okay, I just want to be able to see all messages. So if you would just let me know who you are, or let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how you found my channel. Um, all right, so just wait for a few more folks to come in. First of all, let me say thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching me. Y'all, I look a little orange. I don't know what I look like to you all, but it's all good. All right. I've got here the top chat. I want to see all chats. Okay. All right. Anyway, my name is Alethea Hudson, and I'm the founder and creator of So Much Talent. And it's been a long while since I've been here on the YouTube side going live. Just recently did a live video in collaboration with the Blacks on Network. And so in that video, I did a tutorial DIY for a gift idea, quick gift idea. And that was fun to do. So my goal is to show up here more often on the YouTube side. So I just want to kind of reintroduce myself and in hopes of getting a little bit more reacclimated to the YouTube side. It's been a long time. It's been about 3 years since I've done a YouTube video. And actually, at that time, you couldn't do live videos unless you, I think, like 1,000 followers in. And my promise to my So Much Talent group and to those that follow me on Instagram, my promise was that once I reached 500, that was my immediate goal, is to go live and reintroduce myself. So that's why I'm here. All right, and while I'm here, I just wanted to share some things with you about So Much Talent. Share some things with you about myself, just let you know who I am, what I do, why I'm even here. Um, so I just want to give it a little bit more time, get some other folks in. And so if you don't mind sharing this out, sharing this to your followers, letting them know that I am live. If you are in a place where you can share that. All right. So while I'm talking with you, I'm going to also be working on a project. Oh, there we go. So, okay. All right. So we're about 5 minutes in. So I just want to make sure you all can hear me. Okay. Want to make sure that you're all seeing me. If you can, just put in the chat, I can hear, or you coming in loud and clear. Um, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Something, something to let me know that you're in the room. I see there three, looks like four people are in now. So just let me know where you're watching from. All right. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of time. Wait for a little bit while you coming in. And so while you're doing that, I am going to be working on this. I started on this project a little bit earlier, and it is a project for a one of my coworkers, and I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. Um, but looks like I've been making robes, not robes, but aprons all day. All right, I'm gonna wait until I get some folks coming in, y'all, because I don't like talking to dead space. So I want to make sure that you all are in, and I'll start my conversation when you all start your conversation. How about that? Is that fair? All right, so give me a second while you're doing that. I'm gonna do my thing. All right, I still see the same three folks coming in. All right, loud and clear. All right, thank you so much for saying so. Can't see who you are. You're in watching from Detroit. Thank you so much for commenting. I appreciate that. Lets me know I'm not just talking to myself. All right, so again, if you're not familiar with the So Much Talent family, our group, we have a Facebook presence, a Facebook group. Our group is over 10,000 members strong, and we network all over this world, as I'm sure many other groups do. But we've been together on Facebook for about 7 years. Actually, yeah, for about 7 years. I won't say it's a bit longer than that, but we've been on Facebook for 7 years. I originally started the So Much Talent group on a platform called Ning. I don't know how many of you remember the Ning platform, but I started out there, and it was really supposed to just be a platform for locals. I'm here in Georgia, and I just wanted to connect with other professional dressmakers, designers, seamstress in the area. And it was a little slow start. I really didn't get many people to follow me from my local area, but it just took off on the social media platform. And at that time, I really had not heard of social media. I had not heard of Facebook. I had not heard of um, blogging. And I was curious. I was curious as about what all of this was. And so that was the reason why I started. I was like, seems interesting. Let me just tap in and try to connect it with people locally. So it didn't happen locally as I wanted it to, but I started connecting with people all across this United States, all across the world. So that piqued my curiosity, but it was kind of slow. It was a slow start. On that particular platform, you could open up like different rooms. Each person that logged into my group, and at that time it was called CSRA PDU. So that was Central Savannah River Area Professional Dressmakers United. That was the original name. So if you ever wanted little tidbits or whatever about So Much Talent, that's how it originally started. CSRA PDU and .ning. That was the website. So after about 5 years, just going back and forth, um, people coming in. I met a lot of folks through that platform. That's where I got introduced to Mimi G. I got introduced to Erica Bunker. Got introduced to Adrian Nixon, Victoria Baylor with 10,000 sewing hours. It was just so many people that I was able to reach out to. And at that time, I had no idea. And I'm sure, like many of you, I thought sewing was a lost art. I thought it was a dying art. And I thought that I was going to come in and kind of show people, okay, sewing is still alive and let me see who's doing what. Well, it's almost as if I opened up Pandora's box, or it's almost as if I opened up that door like in Alice in Wonderland, where you open up a door to Never Never Land. Well, that's kind of how it was. And I opened up this door, and from then on, I called it the sewing blogosphere because it was like everybody that was sewing any kind of creation, crafty works or whatever. I found it. It's like I stumbled up on it. And so it was good to see that it was not a dying or lost art. It was good to see that many people were just as enthused about sewing and creating as I was. And so every time I thought about closing the Ning network, it's like, nope, don't do it, don't do it. Everybody would tap in and start posting and start sharing their things. And again, on that particular network, every person had their own room, had their own space. So that means you could upload all of your items and all of your things in your one space, and we could visit your page or visit your room and see all of the projects that you were working on, everything that you were doing, which was a cool way to connect with people. And so essentially, I don't know at what point, that was in 2008. So again, about 5 years later, I changed that up. I'm not sure at what point I made it so much talent, but it was. And it became so much talent. So I'm not sure at what point, but I was trying to find something different, came across Periscope, and I started going live on Periscope. And stayed on Periscope maybe for a couple of years. And then about 7 years ago, um, we moved everything from Periscope onto onto the Facebook page because we wanted a place where we could connect, where we could um, post our challenges, where everybody could meet in one location, so you could see all the challenges that we were putting out there. So a place where everybody could post their makes and things like that. And so I moved it to the Facebook group, and inside the Facebook group, it took off. It was like it just went, it just blew up. And when I say blew up, I mean blew up in a good way. Thank you for the thumbs up. And so I was excited. People were watching, people were listening, people were being motivated, inspired. Uh, they were being encouraged. A lot of people, I started learning terms about lost your sojo and things like that. And so it was just a lot of things going on. And just like you, I was inspired by a lot of folks in the community. Was able to see a lot of what everybody was doing. And we just all started coming together in this one hub. And so that's why the many different challenges that we do. Every year we do challenges throughout the year. At one point we were doing challenges every month. Um, and that's when I was more at home at that point. I've since, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, but I've since gone back out into the workforce um, as a sales manager for a local bridal salon. Um, and so my times kind of got cut back a little bit, but I'm, still active, still doing things. I now have admin in the group. Of course, I couldn't do all this by myself. Um, we've also expanded to doing annual sewing retreats. We just had our annual sewing retreat back in July, where we met up for the second time in Atlanta, and we have a sewing retreat coming up next year, 2024. We have a sewing retreat coming up. We'll be in the DMV area, the Washington, Maryland, Virginia area. Hey, Miss Kim, so thank you so much for joining in. And so I'm excited about that. We have lots of fun every year that we come together doing those retreats. Our first retreat was in 2018. That particular retreat, we had Gentleman Jam, and I'd like to have like guest teachers, guest speakers, those people in the community that can lend their talents and their gifts, their wisdom, and their knowledge about the whole genre. So it's not just about sewing, but it's about anything related to the field. It could be fashion design, it can be uh, crocheting, it could be jewelry, it could be jewelry making, hat making, shoe making. I mean, whatever it is that crafters can lend um, their expertise and knowledge, because that's what so much talent is about. If you look at the header in this YouTube page, it's about inspiring, learning, teaching. Um, and so that's what we do. So in that first retreat, Gentleman Jim, but most of you may know him as Gentleman Jim, but James McFarland with the what was it? He and Victoria Baylor had a show at that time called The Tailor and the Dressmaker, and they both were guests at that first retreat that year, and it was awesome. It was an awesome retreat. We had dinner. We had, as I start off all of my retreats, we have a meet and greet in the beginning. Um, I don't think at that particular one we did any traveling, but we did have seminars and sessions where we did go off from where we were staying and went to a separate location to get some training and to have vendors. That we had that vendor set up. We had catered lunch, and it was awesome. And then we came back and we had all day sewing, just a sewing retreat. It was a literal sewing retreat. And then the last day we had dining. We had music. I had a live band, and we had dancing, had dinner, catered meals, and everything. So it's kind of how a lot of them go. A little bit, each one has been a little bit different, but nonetheless, that's our tradition. All right. So that's what we do with so much talent. I love sharing makes. We're also on Instagram, so I get to share periodically what we're doing inside the group. I like to spotlight other talented individuals in the group. So we spotlight different members. So every month we have a member spotlight. So we get to learn a little bit about the different members or people that are in the our sewing community, and I get to share those out. Um, we also share all of the different events that are going on in the community. Others are having retreats. Others are having some kind of event that's related to what we're doing, whether it's sewing, crafting, jewelry making, designing, whatever it is. One of the other things that we're known for is Supermarket Saturday. So every Saturday inside the group is one of the group perks. We share anybody who has anything that they're selling, whether it's tutorials, whether it's merch, whether it's you have YouTube classes or whatever it is that has a price on it. On Saturdays, you get to share that. And the reason why we just do it on Saturdays and one day and not let you just post it every day during the week, because it's kind of like my thought process behind that is like telemarketer calling. You always have somebody calling trying to sell you something, or everybody's trying to push something in your face. Well, this is a creative space, and we know that everybody has something that they're probably selling or doing, but we don't want anybody to get overwhelmed by all of the stuff that could be coming out, that somebody might want to share. So we just allocate it to one day. So that way, if you don't want to be in there on Saturdays, if you don't want to be overwhelmed by all the stuff that folks are selling and what they have to show you, then you don't have to come in on Saturdays. It's just that simple. So that's why we do that, and that's a lot of fun. So everybody, anybody is welcome in the group. I really don't have any strict guidelines. My only thing is though, there are questions, and they're very simple questions to get you inside the group. It's like, how did you learn about so much talent? What are your sewing? What do you do? Do you sew? Do you create craft? Whatever. How did you learn about us? I might have said that already. Um, so those are, it's just basically three questions, and then I let you know you do have to acknowledge the fact that you're here for good reasons, and anything else outside of what we're here doing, you could get booted out of the group. Just that simple. I really haven't had to do that. Only I could probably count on my hands how many times I've had to kick somebody out of the group. But it's a very safe group, a very helpful group, um, very loving group, and it's literally drama free, and which is what I love about it. But if you don't answer the questions, if you just request to join, but you don't answer the questions, I don't let you in, right? Um, so gotta answer the questions. All right, just that simple. So so that's what so much talent is all about. Now that to me, who am I? What do I do? Why do I feel like I need to tell you about this? One, I'm here because I keep my word. I said that I would share. I would reintroduce myself, and I'm trying to branch out into the community. I'm so used to stand behind the four walls, if you will, inside the So Much Talent group, and I go live there regularly. Not as regular as I used to, but I do. I go there live on a regular basis. I do what I'm about to do now. You know, you watch me while I sew. We talk, we chat. I share with you things that are coming up. You know, and I might just pop up and say, "Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? What you sewing?" You know, it's motivational. I encourage anybody that's in the group, if they want to, they can go live. Like, you don't have to have a lot of permission to do. You don't have to have permission to do a lot of things in that group, as long as it's relative to sewing, as long as it's relative to what we're doing. I don't even mind you sharing your blogs, your pages. The only thing that, like I said, we don't share every day, you only do it on Saturday, is the things that you're selling. So if somebody pops up and shares something that's got a price tag to it, or you trying to push something off on somebody, uh, your comments probably gonna get deleted or hidden. Um, it's just that simple. But outside of that, that's what we do. But as far as me, again, my name is Alethea. I'm a little country girl from Georgia. um, I am by at my 9 to 5, and I feel like I have two because this is my full time business, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But Monday through or Sunday through Saturday, really. I'm off 2 days out of the week, but I am a sales manager for a local bridal salon here, a local bridal chain, actually. I started out in this chain 2005 as an alterations manager. Stayed there for about 8 years, and then I got very sick, got very deathly ill, and I was gone for about maybe 3, 4 years, maybe. Um, I left in 2012, and I went back just for a little bit, and I decided, I thought I was going to go just part time to do some work, but I decided to come away altogether and work on my business a little bit more. Um, but then God has a funny way of doing things. And so I think it was about 4 years after I had left, um, I was asked to come back. Each time that I've gone, let me just say this: I've never gone out looking for uh, these jobs. The first time that I went in as alterations manager. I was called and asked to come in and asked to manage the department. I did accept. Um, I didn't realize I would be there 8 years, but I was. This time around, this was 2016. I was asked to go back again, but this time as a just a seamstress to help out. Um, and I accepted only if I was able to maintain my own business, because what I do is a conflict, could be a conflict of interest. So I did that. They accepted my offer, and their offer was good enough for me to accept. And so we were both at a happy medium. And so I decided to go back. I decided to accept the offer to come back. Um, However, when I went back, when I went in, I had to go back in at my regular pay that I left out at. I wasn't going to bump my pay down. And so that transpired. Now, the alterations manager that at that time that took my place got ill. And so they asked me to step up into that position as special assignment manager, alterations manager. I did that. Moving forward, the sales manager got sick, and the alterations manager had returned. And then they asked me if I would step in as a special assignment sales manager, um, hoping that she would get well. She didn't. She ended up leaving to get better. And so I took on that position as a sales manager, and that's where I've been ever since. So I'm a sales manager by proverbial day. And this is what I do here in my home. I'm a fashion designer. I'm a bridal gown creator. I create bridal gowns, bridal and fashion. I'm sorry, bridal and formal wear designer. Um, I like to tell people I'm a custom uh, clothier, which means I do more than just sew. I do more than just alterations, but I also design and create. So my clients will bring me ideas. They will bring me inspirational pictures, and I'll recreate those for them. And so I do a little bit of everything, and that's why I don't like to lump myself. And this is not me thinking more highly of myself than I ought to, but there's certain connotations with certain things, and I've explained this inside my group a lot. But people see you when they hear certain terms, they see you only certain ways. And so when you start dishing out tickets and bills and fees and stuff, they're looking like, well, why is this so high? Well, you get more than what I mean, you get the whole gamut, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so that's what I do here. I'm a expert alteration specialist. I'm a bridal gown designer, prom, cotillion, mother of the bride. I don't do men's things. All right. If I did, I do them for my husband, my family, if they request it. But I don't do. I don't advertise myself as doing work for men, just the women, young girls. I love making dresses. I love creating gowns. Um, and then altering them as well. Now, one thing about me you'll learn, I did not, did not like alterations. I hated alterations like with a passion. I did. But it was the one thing that taught me. Uh, it was one thing that taught me how to excel in my gift, how to improve my craft, how to go inside and look at how things were put together, and learn how to put them together that way myself. It taught me how to be a little bit more professional in my work, how things were done from interfacings to um, all the little details that make things fit and look professional the way they did. So I'm pretty much self-taught. I did take courses like when I was in middle school. My first initial sewing class was when I was like 9, 10 years old. And I actually have a picture of this on my Instagram page. But I took a 2 week, my mother sent me to a 2 week singer sewing class. I started dabbling with sewing when I was 8 years old. And she saw that I was really interested because my mother at that time sewed. She made our clothes. She was a full time registered nurse. And She would come home like in the midnight hours because she would work like what they called at that time graveyard shifts. And she would make our clothes either for church or for school or for special occasions like Easter, things like that. She would make her uniforms and stuff. So I just, it's kind of a bent, you know. This gentleman that you see behind me is my great great grandfather. He's the only one in my family that's taken on business like I have. So it's, I've learned that it's a family bent. Like he was the only black man in the in our area in 1917 that owned a business that did had a tailoring shop. Um, and so I've learned that throughout my whole family, just about all of us know how to sew. But he's the only one that's took it on as a business like I did. But with that being said, though, everything that I've learned is pretty much hands on. Like I said, I picked up courses in middle school. I would always, and this telling my age, but when um, at the beginning of my marriage, I would rent videos across, it wasn't across the internet, but I would look at like PBS channels, things like that. And there was this woman, and many of you may have heard of her, Nancy Zeman. And she would, she had this video program, and she would interview people on her program, like it was a 30-minute PBS program, something sewing with Nancy, I think it was called. And she would have different people on, like Kenneth King and Ron Collins and Sue Sussman, I think. Even I can't think of the lady's name now, but she does a lot of bespoke tailoring. Susan Calgie. All these people, I learned about them like hundreds of years ago on PBS. But she had this program where she would rent out videos where you could learn about different things. So I would rent these videos out for like 2 weeks at a time, and she would send you the cards where you can return them. So I would study those. I would study alterations. I would study like how designers put things together, and that's where I built a lot of my skill set. And going to the library at that time. I don't even know if they do still have libraries, do they? I don't know, because you can go on YouTube and find anything, right? Um, and so I'm still learning. I still put myself in a mode to learn because I always believe as long as you have breath in your body, you can always learn something. Uh, I know that the Bible tells you there's nothing new under the sun, but that people put their spin on different things. You know, put new spin, a new tech, a new way of doing a certain thing. You know, it might be an easier way. It might be whatever it is. It's always something that you can learn. So I always keep myself in the mode of learning something different, something new. Um, so yeah, so that's what I do when I'm not at the bridal shop. I'm here. I have my in-house um, studio, as many of you do, as many of you sewers do. And so this is where I take on a lot of my work. So every year I take on just a few gowns to make from scratch. And I tell anybody, I'd rather make a gown from scratch, a wedding gown. I don't care how embellished it is. I'd rather make it from scratch than alter it. Because there's a lot to take it apart and then put it back together, a lot of bead work and blah, blah, blah. But I get joy out of that. So on inside the group, I share a lot of, what I'm doing, what I'm working on. So my goal here is to share more of that through YouTube, on this channel, to share it, to share my process, whether it's through video, the shorts, the video shorts. So I'm learning a lot of this stuff because I haven't been on here in a long time to post anything. So I'm learning that there's a lot of upgrades, a lot of things to work with the YouTube channel. So I'll be sharing a lot of that of what I'm doing, my work in progress type stuff. I'll be sharing a lot of what we're doing inside the group when it comes to the challenges. Um, One of the main challenges that's coming up, we have an annual challenge, and it's our January stash busting fast. So every year, I think for the past maybe 7 years now, we've had this fast. It started off just as a fabric fast, and what we do is we will not purchase fabric. The goal is to not purchase any fabric for the whole month of January. So that's our fast. And we've since added on patterns. So during January, anybody who commits to this fast will not buy fabric and will not buy patterns. But each week we have a challenge to make something and create from our stash. So hence the name Stash Busting Fast. And so we take fabrics from our stash. We set goals. So like the first week we might do um, tops. The second week, we might do skirts and pants. Third week, we might do dresses. And the fourth week, we might do accessories or outerwear or something creative that you can do to uh, deplete your stash. And so the goal is to get rid of some stuff. So you have 11 months to rebuild your stash. Hopefully it will inspire you to sew more from the stash that you created. But it sounds like it could be easy to do, but how many of you know that when you commit to doing something, it's a little bit harder? Like we have, I think at the beginning of the year, there's a big pattern sale that comes out. So I encourage everybody during this whole month of December to go ahead and take advantage of whatever pattern sales are out there, take advantage of whatever fabric sales are out there, because it's going to get enticing. It's going to get very enticing during the month of January. But we strong. We strong. We got this. So that's one of the biggest challenges that we do. We've done unconventional challenges. We've done inspirational challenges where we take and pull inspirational pictures and recreate those. We've done swap it challenges, and the swap it challenges works as those that sign up. We take fabric from our stash and swap it with somebody else. So they'll ship me their things and I'll ship them mine. And we create something from it and then we share it. So it just inspires us to be creative, with what you're given. Because how many of you know when we purchase items, we purchase with the intent of making something with it. So we just swap out our makes, our fabrics, and we allow somebody to create something that comes to their mind with it, whatever they want. Right now, we're in the midst of a Zesty Couture Challenge. We've partnered with Grace of Zesty Couture Fabrics, and she's challenged us to create something using fabric from her shop. And I think that challenge ends. I think that deadline is coming up on the 22nd. Uh, you got too much fabric. Kim says she has too much fabric. She's ready. Listen, we all have lots of fabric, Kim. And going back to that stash busting fast, the hopes is that you'll create something for yourself. It's okay. We create stuff for everybody else. Sometimes we create, and a lot of us do that anyway, create stuff. But for me, I sew very little for myself because I'm always sewing. My business is sewing for other people. My time is very limited. And so I get to like squeeze stuff in there when I can. So for other people. So it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's very challenging and but it's very inspiring at the same time. And I love seeing other people's makes and what they come up with. We get to talk about what people are doing in the community, sharing little tidbits. People like to share what they're inspired by. They like to share videos of techniques that they found on the internet. Those things are very helpful to other people. One of the things that I do like about that, going back to the So Much Talent group, one of the things that I like about this group is that if you ask a question, there's always somebody that's going to answer. Like somebody that might have the answers, they're very helpful in the group. If they don't know the answer, like me, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to do a little research and I'm going to help out, see if I can find it. Um, you can post a picture, like if you get stuck with something, stuck on creating something, you can always say, hey, I need help with this. Post a picture of what you need help with, and somebody's there to help. Um, I myself personally, I've done classes, pants fitting classes, dress fitting classes, top fitting classes. And so it's time to get back into all of that. Getting back into a 9 to 5 kind of zapped a lot of time, but I'm ready to dig back in there. I'm ready to create some time and get back into sharing that skill set. I did do a designer gown class one year, which I took the students through how to create a gown from scratch, like from drawing it, from pinning it, penciling it out, drawing it, and then creating draping a pattern on the body form for it, on the dress form, and then bringing it to life, creating a pattern for it, and then stitching it up. So I want to get back into doing creating another class of that sort. Um, I've since created merchandise for So Much Talent. So if you go to my website, I've got to figure out a way to get this all separated, but pretty much everything is under one umbrella. But if you go to my website for my business, AletheaHudsonDesigns.com, if you click on the shop, you'll see all of the merchandise that's there. Like I think there's 3 or 4 mugs. I didn't bring them all out. I wasn't planning on sharing them. But there's, I think, 3 or 4 mugs that So Much Talent has. I think I pulled the t-shirts down because we haven't sold the t-shirts lately. I haven't sold those in a while, and I just really don't promote it. So that's something that I've got to start doing again. But there's different mugs on the website. Most people, when they hear me, they know me from my phrase, "How art thou?" Um, what else? Love you to life. There's different things. So some of those my mugs will have those on there, so you can take advantage of those. Trying to think of what else. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Um, in the meantime, outside of me hosting So Much Talent in our Facebook group, we also have a Facebook page, So Much Talent. And I did share that we have the Instagram page. I am on Threads and I'm on X. I don't use X like that, but I really don't use Threads like that either. I'm usually on Instagram. And I have Instagram, So Much Talent Instagram, and there's Alethea Hudson Designs Instagram, where I post a lot of my creations, my makes for my clients and stuff. So you can go there and see that. But outside of that, I'm a wife, been married 34 years. I have 2 grown sons. I have 3 grandbabies. I have, let's see, I host a prayer group every morning, Monday through Friday, called Women at the Well. I started that probably about 7 years ago as well. A few of the ladies, actually, some of my soul sisters, we came together, and the way that prayer call came about is we came together to pray for one of our soul sisters that was going through something very challenging at that time, and it was just 3 of us at that time started that prayer call, and we decided to just come together and pray. And I forget, it was called something else. And but anyway, it's since been called Women at the Well, and that goes on every day now, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. And I also have a um, podcast in the making. This has been in the making for some time now. But I also share the Word of God. I also minister the Word of God. And so I have a podcast or a page that's called A Sower Sows. So it's a play on sowing and reaping. And so I do that as well. So all of these things are on my get back at it list. I have a book in the making, you know, and but basically my book is an inspirational book. It's nothing really to do with sewing or anything like that, but that's been 2 years in the making. So there's a lot of things that's on my agenda, that's on my goal list to do. um, let's see what else. I think that's mostly all that I can share about me. But like I say, if you have questions, whatnot, let me know. But in the meantime, I am going to, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my laptop up closer, and I'm going to actually start working on this apron. We just had, like I said, we had a challenge recently. I collaborated with Black Sewing Network, BSN, Carmen Green, and that great group of bunch over there, a bunch of crafters over there. And she did 12 days of Blackmas, which every day for 12 days, someone shared a quick gift idea. Um, we spent about an hour sharing with you something that was great to do. And on that particular day, and I actually have the video here. You can go back and check the video out here on YouTube. But I showed you how to create these slippers, which literally took me about an hour. Probably took less than that, but I need to get some other stuff done. Um, since then, with the Zesty Challenge, I think I started off telling you about that. Grace with African Zesty Couture Zesty Couture Fabrics, I think it's called. If you just Google Zesty Couture, you'll find it. But her challenge was for us, for the So Much Talent group, is to create something using her fabric. Now, periodically, we'll do a night sewing. We'll meet up on Zoom or something like that. Some of the ladies will just hang out on Zoom and sew at night. And we'll come together for maybe 2, maybe 3 hours. Sometimes it's gone 3, 4 hours. But we just get together, just hanging out and sewing. And but Miriam Forster, she's one of the members in the group, and she's one of the members in the DMV area. And she hosted the Great Jelly Roll Race for Charity, which was a sew along. And she taught us how to put together these jelly rolls, and I did that. And they were supposed to go for little blanket tops for children. Well, I didn't get mine submitted in time. I made it, but I didn't get it shipped off in time. So she released me to keep it, which I did, and I actually made a reversible apron from it. So this fabric, all of this came from fabric from Grace's Zesty Couture shop. And so I used it to put my these pieces together and create this apron. So that's my contribution to that. And also the, well, actually, this is my contribution to our challenge, the So Much Talent Challenge. But Grace also has a challenge that's going out now, the Zesty Home Challenge. And so because I have done this for the home, this is my kitchen apron um, that I'm doing. And I actually lined it with this musical note fabric. So this was my contribution to the home challenge, and I'll show you some of the other things as well. I would love to be able to do some of these lives or doing quick sew-alongs like this. Um, so this was one of the, out of that piece of, from that fabric or from what I created from the jelly roll race, it was a big, nice sized piece of fabric from that jelly roll. And so I was able to use that fabric to create this apron, to create these mittens, which I love because I love the color in them. I was also able to create this heating mat, which it is, has the insole batting on the inside of it, which was a lot of fun to make. I created my own bias binding, but the color is, I love the colors in all of this. And then I was going to add pockets to the reverse side of this just to add a little color to it. But I decided, because I used just about every piece of that fabric, but what I decided to do instead was to create a cozy, uh, canister cozy or mug cozy, however you want to call it. It's a slim one. And so I can use it to keep something warm or keep something cool. But that worked out pretty good. And so, and it has a little bottom to it. So I enjoyed making this, and this was something that it didn't take a pattern to do. You know, you really don't need a pattern to create an apron. Uh, and you can use either self bias binding, or you can purchase bias binding to do that. But I shared that in the video as well. Um, you really don't need a pattern to make the mitten, but I created my own little pattern. And so I just like to have those things. So since I've made, since it's Christmas time, of course, we have parties going on and everything, and I needed something to take to the party with me. Our party was, I think Sunday the 10th, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that. So that Saturday prior to that, I couldn't decide. I wanted to take gifts to the other supervisors, other managers, my teammates. And so what I did was made aprons for each one of them. There was three other ones, and I was able to get them done quick, fast, in a hurry that night, and they loved them. And so one of my employees, she saw it and liked it and wanted one for her. She works at another job, and she wanted one for her to take with her. So I actually ended up picking up some fabric, because she said that she likes what should say, Irish themed stuff. So I found this really nice shamrock fabric, which has some great color to it. And so I'm going to make her an apron for her coworker out of this. And I think I bought this to line it with. And I also bought some green bias binding tape. So I'm gonna do a store-bought bias binding as opposed to um, making it. So save some time. And then I bought a little bit extra, so I'll make sure I have enough for straps. Sorry, straps. Um, so yeah, so that's what I'm up to. So I'll just do this for a little bit. I probably won't hold you all too much longer. But if you have questions about what we do in the group, what's coming up next, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have. But in the meantime, be sure to follow. If you're not following here, be sure to follow here. Follow my YouTube channel, because there will be more content coming up. Sewing challenges. Keep you abreast of what's going on inside the group. If you're not following in the group yet, make sure you go on over and follow. And please be sure to answer the questions. All right? Because I don't want to not invite you in the group. Also, make sure you share this out with your friends. All right. Make sure you share this out with your friends and let them know that we're here. So Much Talent is here. We're coming back. One of the other things that I did mention is that I tend to, we have book reads in the group. So we tend to periodically read along with different books that might benefit us. Like one of the book reads that we did actually, and they're a lot of fun to read. And so we do this on Zoom. We do this on, I've had like lunch sessions that we did. I did with Ayana, another lady in the group. But anything that's helpful in the group, we tend to do it together. So we've had several book reads. We did one with Steve Harvey's book, Jump, because it's relative to us. A lot of us like to take our talents and gifts and turn them into a business. And so a lot of us can be scared to do it for whatever reason. But this was very inspiring for us to be able to encourage each other to, if you got something that you do, you're good at, turn it into a business and don't be afraid to do it. So we went through this book one year. Teresa Bell Foy's book, Declutter Your Way to Success, was a really good book too, because how many of you know we can be cluttered, we can have a lot of clutter around us, but when you start cleaning out, not just cleaning out your space around you, but cleaning out what's up in here. We keep a lot of stuff in here, but we don't put it out on paper. So we can declutter both literally and proverbially. Then we can get ahead in our plans. So that was good. But then we read fun. We have fun reads too. This one was a book that I found in a thrift store one year. We were having a thrift store challenge, and that thrift store challenge was um, we could only spend $25 during that particular time, and whatever we bought with that $25, we had to recreate something else with it and show it. We had a deadline, and at that time, I found this book called Seam Busters, and this was a story about a group of women that worked in a factory creating military, this really unique military uniforms, and all of the drama that surrounds these ladies and their, their work drama, their home life drama. But that was a good read. Our last read that we did was Hobby Lobby's book, Dave Green's, on how he started his business with just $600. And that was an inspirational read, because a lot of us feel like, we got to be at a certain place, we got to have an X amount of dollars, we can't move until everything is just right. Well, these were all inspiring books to say, hey, you can start right where you are, use what you have, and get to it. All right. So I do that, and I also not only do we spotlight members, but I attempt from time to time will interview um, other creators in the community. Um, I've interviewed the likes, what's her name, Lisa Woolfolk from um, Black Women Stitch, Black Women Stitch. I believe that's what it's called. Sorry, Lisa, if you're watching this, but Stitch Please podcast. All right. Had a chance to interview her. You'll see one of the interviews with Karen Baxter from Miss Creative CEO. We did an interview with her. Also did an interview with Anita Morris. And this has been a few years back when I don't know if you remember when Anita was doing her swap it, um, showing how she was clearing out her home and just regrouping and clearing out some stuff and re um, decorating and getting rid of stuff that she really didn't need. And so things like that, and just create and interviewing people in the community, that want to share what they're doing. So it's a lot of fun. So we're going to bring all of that back. We're going to bring back the interviews, going to bring back the spotlights, going to bring back the late night sew-alongs. And definitely we're going to keep the retreats going. So um, if you want to know more about the retreat, you can inbox me or you can join the So Much Talent Facebook group so we can give you more information about what's going on with the retreat. Again, right now it's scheduled for July 18th through the 21st. It's going to be in the um, DMV area. All right. And so we've narrowed it down to two locations. Just got to decide which one we want to do, which one we want to go with, and then go from there. All right. We've already started taking deposits for that, and you ladies are showing up, and just by you putting your money where your mouth is, you are excited about this trip. I do have those that are regulars. They come every year, and so it's like a ritual for us now that we come together and meet up and reconnect every year. It's a lot of fun. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and get into this cutting this apron. And I have gotten hooked on using my rotary cutter now. So hopefully I can put my hands on it. If not, then I'm going to use my scissors so I won't waste a whole lot of time. Oh, there it is. All right, so we're right at 1 hour. I did not want to spend more than an hour chatting. I really didn't expect to be here this long. But if this has been helpful, if I've encouraged you and inspired you in any kind of way, if what we're doing is So Much Talent excites you and you want to be a part, just simply join us inside the group again. Just look for So Much Talent as SEWMUCHTALENT. I think there may be a link inside the description to it. I'm not sure. I am slowly updating a lot of this stuff um, on these platforms. Um, Also, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it out. Share us with your friends. I'm having to cut that like that because the this is dull. It's gotten dull because I've used it a lot. And I went to go get another one, but I couldn't remember what size blade I had. Okay, so yeah, I couldn't remember if I had, I think it's a 45, I'm not sure. All right, but don't forget to leave your comments inside. If you're watching this, be sure to leave your comments, your questions, anything that you might have, and I'll be sure to get back to them. Wilma says, sorry to know about your book read. Do you have a list of the books you've read already posted somewhere? Thanks, and I really like uh, the few midnight solo-longs that have happened along. Okay. All right. So obviously, you both are familiar with the group, so you got to tell me who you are. Wilma, maybe y'all on here as aliases. But if so, if you don't want to share who you are here, just reach out to me. Um, oh, Kim, that's my girl, Kim. Kim's so happy. I don't have my glasses on, Kim, so I didn't see you close up. But yeah, if you I'll be happy to share the books that we've read, the read alongs that we've had. And yeah, I can definitely do that. We have one that we plan to read along. We haven't read it yet. So I'll put that inside the group as well. But yeah, I'll definitely, if you inbox me or leave DM me here, or I don't know how you would do it, just let me know how I can reach out to you, and I'll make sure you get that information. All right. But that's going to be it because I don't want to keep y'all here too long. I'm going to go ahead and finish sewing this up. I may even get inside the group and finish sewing this and cutting this out. But again, if you have questions, reach out to me. This won't be your last time seeing me. I'll be doing more of these coming before you with information about our sew alongs and upcoming events inside the group. All right. Well, I love y'all to life. Again, thank you so much for helping me reach my immediate goal. My next goal for this YouTube channel is to reach 750. It's not a hard goal to reach. So I'm doing it in increments of 250, obviously. You helped me reach my 500 goal. Uh, I stood at, I think, like 400 something for years, for the longest, because I just wasn't doing anything with it. So I know we can get to 750. So thank you so much for helping me to get to 500. I love y'all to life, blessings and peace. And I hope to see you on the Facebook group side or the Instagram side. Love y'all to life, and y'all have a great night. Thank you.